Good morning, dear students, and welcome to this particular session. Today, we are going to do notice writing, and this topic is set in your board papers and it carries 5 marks. So, here in this video, we are going to discuss the key points that should be kept in mind while writing a notice. We'll also see the different formats and the marks division of notice writing. Now, this question is highly scoring. All that we need to do is stick to the guidelines and instructions for writing a notice. There should be no scope for any type of errors while writing a notice. So, therefore, do follow this video properly. And if any doubts, you can always ask me in the group. Now, before we proceed in this particular topic, let us first try to see that how we are going to proceed with the topic. So, here is the plan for the lesson. First, we'll be trying to understand that what is a notice. In other words, we'll do a short definition about notice. Then we'll discuss the different types of notice writing which is included in the ICSE syllabus. So what are the different types of notice that can be asked in the exam? That we'll discuss. After that, we'll move to the format of notice writing. There are two formats, so we'll be discussing both the formats and also the marks division, that how the marks are divided in the notice writing. Though we are going to discuss two different formats of notice writing, but it is advisable that you must not get confused between those two formats. You have to make a choice of any one format and stick to that format throughout so that there is no confusion in your mind. And finally, we'll be also doing some sample notice so that you get an idea of how a notice is to be written. So let's begin with the class. The first topic is what is a notice, or in short, we do the definition of notice writing. So as you all can see, a notice is a very short composition. Okay. Generally, if you go to CBSE syllabus and all, you'll find that they prescribe the word limit. They make it 50 words, not more than 50 words. Though ICSE does not prescribe any word limit for notice writing, but it is advisable for us to be as brief as possible while writing a notice. So it is a very short composition that is written in formal style. Okay. Now, what do we mean by that? Formal style means it is a formal document and the language used should be formal language. Okay. So a notice is a very short composition written in a formal style to convey some important information to people who could be interested in it. Now, since you are school students, therefore, we should know that what are the different types of notices written at school level. At school level, a notice is basically written to inform the students, staff, and parents about an event or an activity that is likely to take place in the school in near future. Suppose the school is planning to conduct an activity in the near future. So the information of that activity can be conveyed to the students, staff, and parents through a notice. Now, this activity can be a cultural event like any dance program, prize day or cultural competition, or it can be about any competition, exhibition, excursion, a sporting event, and at times it can be also about lost and found articles. So, for all these reasons, a notice is written at school level. Now, another common type of notice that is set by ICSE is the one by the office bearers of a Residents Welfare Association, that is RWA. RWA stands for Residents Welfare Association of a colony, to inform the residents of that colony about a meeting or any other program, like it can be cleanliness drive, it can be drawing competition, it can be any type of celebration like Holi, Diwali, Christmas, etc. It can be a charity program, etc. So this type of notice also we may be asked to write. Now, what is a good notice? See, a good notice is the one that is always to the point, and it should give all essential and required information to the people concerned, so that there is no scope for further inquiries. So, if a notice is to the point and at the same time it gives all essential and required information to the people, then it can be considered as a good notice. Suppose if you have written a notice and then things are not clear in that notice, people are left with many questions, further inquiries, then your notice falls short. So, a good notice is a notice which will leave no further queries for the readers or for the people concerned. Now, I hope this is clear, that you have understood that what a notice is. Now, let us move further. Now, what are the general guidelines for writing a notice? Now, while writing a notice, these things we need to keep in mind. The first point is, as far as possible, make use of passive voice in a notice. Now, you know what is passive voice. Now, in passive voice, the construction of a sentence is helping verb plus verb's third form. That is how passive voice is formed. Now, this construction should be used as far as possible in notice writing. Okay. So, you cannot write that we request people, because when you write we request people, then that is in active voice. Okay. Instead of that, we can make use of passive voice like helping verb plus verb's third form. So, like it can be say all are requested, or it is hereby informed. So, is informed. That is passive voice. So, the passive voice should be used while writing a notice as far as possible. Next key point is, while writing a notice, the heading of the notice should be catchy and appealing, so that it is able to attract the attention of the readers or of the people concerned. So, if the heading is catchy and appealing, then people will be encouraged or attracted towards that notice, and they would try to read and know that what the notice contains. So, always make sure that your notice should have a catchy and appealing heading. Then, while writing a notice, We should make use of bold letters and catchy slogans, because when you use catchy slogans, bold letters in your notice, then it enhances the visual appeal. It enhances the visual appeal of the readers, and they feel attracted towards the notice and they want to read it. And the last but not the least, having written a notice, make sure that you put that notice within a box. So draw a box around the notice, because it again enhances the visual appeal of your notice. So these are the 4 essential or key points that we should keep in mind while writing a notice. First one, make use of passive voice. Your notice should always begin with a catchy and appealing heading. It should have a catchy, appealing heading. In a notice, we should make use of bold letters and catchy slogans. And finally, having written a notice, draw a box. Just like if you see, all these points of notice writing are within a box, same way your notice also should be within a box. But that box should be drawn not in the beginning, should be drawn after having completed your notice writing, because you do not know how much space will be needed by you for writing that notice. So always remember that the box should be drawn after having completed the notice writing. And then at school level, what are the different types of notice that you may be asked to write? And any of these can be asked in the syllabus also. So we can broadly divide the school level notice into 3 categories. The first one, at school, notices are written to inform parents, students, and staff about some functions, event, program, or meeting that can be conducted in the near future. So first category will be function, event, program, or meeting. At times, the students of school are taken for tours, treks, expeditions. So there may be, you may be asked to write a notice announcing to the student about a tour or a trek that is the school planning to conduct in the near future. So the second category will be tours and treks. And many times in the school, articles are lost or found. So a notice may be drafted to inform the students and staff about the article that is lost or found. So we can categorize a school level notice into these 3 parts. One is function, event, program, or meeting. Second one, tours or treks. And the third one, lost or found articles. Now let us try to understand about each of these events, that what points should these notice contain. So the first type of notice is function, event, program, or meeting. In this type of notice, your notice should have the following contents. It must have a catchy heading. Okay. Now a catchy heading is common to all types of notice. Then you must mention the name of the event. Say it can be inter-house cultural competition, inter-house debate competition. It can be flower arrangement or science exhibition. Name of the event should be mentioned. Then it must contain the date, time of function, event, or program, that when it will be conducted and at what time it is going to start. So the date and time should be mentioned. The venue, where the program will be conducted, in the auditorium, in the classroom, in the ground, in the basketball court, which place it will be conducted. So the venue should be mentioned. And then you should also mention the target audience of the invitees, that who will be the chief guests, who are invited to watch the program, So that can also be included. And then when it is any type of competition, then you want students to register themselves for that competition. So you must give them instructions related to the entrance, that how they can get their names registered for that competition. And then contact person should be mentioned, that if there are any queries, then who is the person to be contacted. Okay. So contact so and so person if any further queries. Okay, so that should be mentioned in this type of notice. When you are writing a notice to announce or to inform the students about a function, event, program or meeting that is planned in near future, all these points should be included in your notice. Now next type of notice is tours and treks. So when your school is planning a tour or a trek to any other place of historical importance or cultural importance, so what should be the content of the notice? Again, your notice must contain a catchy heading. You must mention the name of the event, say tour to a historical place, and you must mention that when the tour will be conducted, the date when it is starting, and the number of days. A tour is not for one single day, the number of days. How many days? 5 days, a week, or 2 weeks. So, how many days the tour is going to last? And most importantly, you must mention, because students would like to know that how much they have to pay to be a part of that team or to be a part of that tour. So, cost per head. So, what would be the cost per head? Whether it is 5,000 rupees per head, 10,000 rupees per head. So, what is the cost per head to be a participant of that tour? And then that notice should also include that what are the essential things that students need to carry with them for that tour. Whether they need to carry their beddings with them, whether they need to carry their own plates, water bottles with them, or these things would be provided by the organizers. So that should be clearly mentioned. And again, towards the end, you must mention that who is the person to be contacted for any further queries or details. So this is the second type of notice. Now when you are writing the third type of notice, that is for lost or found articles, that should also include a catchy heading. You should mention the article lost or found, and then you mention the place, date and time of losing or finding the article, that where it was lost, when it was lost, that should be mentioned. And in such type of notice, it is important to mention the details of the article. You must give a description of that article so that it is easy to identify the article. Now, this description of the article may include the shape, size, color of the article. You can also mention the brand or the company of that article so that it becomes easy for the students to identify that article. So all this description should be given. And then if the article is found, then who is the person to be contacted? And then your notice should also contain that the person who finds that article will be rewarded or not. So if there is any reward for that person, that should also be mentioned in the in the notice. Now these are the three different types of notice, and in fact you must have a sample of all these three types of notices with you. Now let us move forward to the format of notice writing. Now here is format 1. I had told you that there are two different formats of notice writing that is prescribed by the ICSE. Now you need to stick to that for this format. If there is mistake in the format, then you will be heavily penalized and you may not score good marks. So you stick to this particular format. So this is format 1. See, in format 1, in your page of the copy, in the center of the page, you begin the notice and you begin with a catchy heading. which is appealing heading to attract the attention of the readers. And this catchy heading carries 1 marks. Okay. So the catchy heading should not be out of place. It should be very much related with the topic or with the question. The catchy heading carries 1 marks. Then you leave one line, come to the next line. Again in the center, you write the name of the event. And that name of the event, say suppose you are writing inter-house cultural competition. This is the name of the event. Now that name of the event will carry 1 marks. Then again leave one line, come to the next line, mention the date. The date carries half marks. Then leave one line, come to the next line, mention the time. That also carries half marks. Then leave one line, come to the next line, mention the venue. Okay, venue means the place. Now this venue should be divided into 2 parts, and that is half plus half. Say suppose inter-house cultural competition. The venue will be, if you are writing a notice for the school, so you will write main auditorium or Silver Jubilee Auditorium, St. James School, Binagudi. So that is half plus half, 1 marks. And then leave one line, come to the extreme left hand side. The other essential details can be written in 2 or 3 lines, and this will carry 1 marks. So that all total makes 5 marks. Now this format, I'll be sending you the picture of this format also. Now when you write a notice following format 1, then your notice will somewhat look like this. Try to follow this. Now you see, suppose you have to write a notice for this question. Your school is organizing an inter-school debate competition. Write a notice for your school informing the students about the event. So you see, first comes a catchy heading, War of Words. If you see, this has come to the center of the page. Okay, debate competition, we can write a catchy heading, War of Words. Then leave one line, and again to the center you write the name of the event, Inter-School Debate Competition. Okay. Leave one line, again to the center of the page you write the date. Okay. So on 4th May, 2021, within bracket you can write Tuesday. The day also can be written. Now here I would like you all to take note. Now 4th May, how is it written? Now see, when you type in a computer, that TH comes as the superscript. But while writing in the copy, there is nothing like the superscript. You cannot write anything as the superscript. So it should come on the same line. Okay. TH should be written in the same line along with 4, not as the superscript. Okay. If you see here also, TH is written along the same line, not as the superscript. So that you need to keep in mind. 4th May, 2021, bracket Tuesday. Then leave one line, mention the time. Okay. So from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. That is the time of the debate competition. Then leave one line and write the venue. This carries 1 marks, half plus half. At Silver Jubilee Hall, St. James School, Binagudi. Full stop. Okay. So this is how your notice will look. Then leave one line, come to the extreme left hand side and write the other essential details or information. So here, like for example, I have written, all the students who wish to participate are requested to give their names to Mr. A. Tripathi latest by 30th April 2021, full stop. The competition is open only for the students of classes 9 to 12. The topic for the competition is COVID-19, a pandemic or biological war. So this is how the notice will look like when it is written according to format 1. So I will be sending this notice also to you for your reference. Okay. Then we move to the second format, that is format 2 of notice writing. Now this is the box type format. In format 2, everything comes to the left hand side of the page. Okay. So everything starts, it's not from the center page, it comes to the left hand side of the page. Okay. You see a catchy heading comes to extreme left hand side, same format, but everything will come to the left hand side of the page. Name of the event, date, time, venue, and other details. When you write a notice following format 2, okay, your notice will look somewhat like this. Okay. You see same topic written in second format. Okay. Catchy slogan, war of words comes to the extreme left hand side, inter-school debate competition. Then here in this format, date has to be mentioned. In the previous format 1, we were writing on 4th of May. We were not writing DATE date. But here it should be mentioned. Date, then colon, 4th of May 2021, Tuesday. Time should be mentioned. Time, colon, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Venue, give a colon, Silver Jubilee Hall, St. James School, Binagudi. And then to the extreme left hand side, the other required details. And finally, having written this notice, put the entire thing within a box. In sample 1 also, you will put the entire thing within a box. So this is how a notice should be written. I hope both the formats are clear to you. Now you have to follow any one format. Make a choice of your own, whichever you like the best. You follow that format and stick to that format throughout, so that there is no confusion in your mind. Okay. So this much for the class today. Thank you for watching the video, and may God bless you all. If you have any queries or doubts, you are most welcome to ask me in the group. Thank you and have a blessed day.